Alex Harrington slammed the door to his penthouse office, his face twisted in that all-too-familiar scowl. "You're fired!" "Get out!" he barked at the trembling woman in front of him, a middle-aged black nanny who'd barely lasted a week. She grabbed her bag, muttering under her breath about entitled pricks, and stormed out. That made it $9.99. 999 nannies down the drain, all because none of them could handle his kid, little Tommy, who was a handful on a good day. Nightmares, tantrums, the works, ever since his mom ditched them for some Euro-trash boyfriend. Alex rubbed his temples, staring out at the Manhattan skyline. Who's next? He grumbled to his assistant over the phone. Send in whoever's left, but make sure they're, reliable. What he really meant was white, like him, like his old man. The CEO who built this empire on traditional values. But deep down, Alex knew his biases were screwing him over. Little did he know the next one, a fiery Latina maid from the cleaning staff, was about to flip his world upside down. Alex paced the sleek marble floors of his Upper East Side apartment, the kind of place that screamed old money with its crystal, chandeliers, and imported art nobody really looked at. Tommy, his 5-year-old son, was upstairs in his room, probably building forts out of pillows or whatever kids did when they weren't. Screaming bloody murder at bedtime. Alex's phone buzzed. His dad, the big shot CEO of Harrington Tech, calling to chew him out again. "Son, you gotta get this nanny situation sorted. The board's whispering about your instability. Can't have the future." CEO looking like he can't even manage a toddler. Alex rolled his eyes. Yeah, Pop, I'm on it. But he wasn't. Every nanny he hired ended up quitting or getting the boot because they didn't fit the vibe. Too loud. Too different, too. Not like the folks from his gated community upbringing. He'd grown up hearing his dad's offhand comments about those people taking jobs, and it stuck, even if he pretended it didn't in board meetings. That afternoon, his housekeeper, Mrs. Patel, knocked on the door. "Mr. Harrington, the agency sent over a temp, but she's not exactly a nanny. More like a maid. But she says she has experience with kids." Alex waved her in, without looking up from his laptop. "Whatever. As long as she keeps Tommy quiet for 5 minutes. In walked Elena Ramirez, mid-20s with dark curls tied back in a ponytail, wearing a simple uniform that did nothing to hide her confident stride. She was from the Bronx, originally from a Mexican immigrant family, and she'd seen enough rich dudes like Alex to know the drill. "Hi, I'm Elena," she said, her voice steady with a hint of that New York edge. "I hear you need help with the little guy." Alex glanced up, his eyes narrowing. She wasn't what he expected, not the polished Ivy League type he usually went for. "You got references?" He snapped, already mentally filing her under. "Not gonna last." Elena smirked. "Better than that, I got skills. Grew up babysitting my cousins in a tiny apartment. No fancy degrees, but I get the job done." Upstairs, Tommy was in full meltdown mode, throwing toys because he didn't want a nap. Elena didn't flinch. She knelt down to his level, her brown eyes meeting his teary blue ones. "Hey, mijo, what's the big fuss? You look like you could use a story." Tommy sniffled, eyeing her suspiciously. "You're not like the others," Elena chuckled. "Nope, and that's a good thing. Come on, let's chill." She started humming a soft lullaby in Spanish, something her abuela used to sing about stars and dreams. Tommy's eyelids drooped almost immediately, and within minutes, he was out cold. Alex, watching from the doorway, felt a weird pang. "How'd you do that?" he asked, crossing his arms. Elena stood up, brushing off her knees. "Magic? Nah, just patience. Kids sense when you're real with them," Alex grunted, not ready to admit she impressed him. But as she left the room, he caught himself staring a bit too long. The next few days blurred into a routine that Alex hated to admit was working. Elena showed up early, handled Tommy's breakfast pancakes, with a side of silly faces to make him laugh, and even tidied up without being asked. But Alex couldn't shake his unease. During a lunch break, he overheard her on the phone, speaking rapid Spanish to her mom about sending money home. It irked him, reminding him of his dad's rants about immigrants, draining the system. "Hey, keep it English in my house," he snapped one afternoon when she slipped into Spanish with Tommy. Elena whipped around, fire in her eyes. "Excuse me?" Tommy likes it. It calms him. "And last I checked, this is America, land of the free, right? Or does that only apply to folks who look like you?" Alex's jaw tightened. "Watch your tone. You're here to work, not lecture me." but her words hit harder than he let on. That night he tossed in bed, replaying it. Why did he care so much? She was just the help. Things escalated at a company gala. Alex dragged Tommy to his dad's idea to show family values. Elena came along as the nanny du jour, dressed in a borrowed gown that hugged her curves just right. Tommy clung to her, giggling as she pointed out the fancy chandeliers. But whispers started. Who's the Latina with Harrington's kid? Maid service getting upgrades? Alex overheard a board member chuckle. Hope she's legal. Rage bubbled up, not at them, but at how it made him see his own crap reflected back. During the event, Tommy had a panic attack in the crowd, screaming about monsters from his nightmares. The other nannies would have freaked, but Elena scooped him up, whispering that same lullaby, shielding him from the stares. Alex watched, something cracking inside. Thanks, he muttered later in the limo. Elena shrugged. No biggie. But you know, Alex, your kids' issues, they ain't about nannies. It's about trust. And maybe check your own biases while you're at it. He stared out the window, the city lights blurring. For the first time, he wondered if she was right. As weeks turned into a month, Elena became indispensable. She taught Tommy basic Spanish words, turning it into games that had him beaming. Hola, Daddy, Tommy yelled one morning, making Alex choke on his coffee. Where'd that come from? Elena grinned from the kitchen. Cultural exchange, boss. Broadens the mind. Alex found himself lingering in the mornings, chatting over coffee about her life, growing up in a tight-knit family, working 2 jobs to support her siblings. It was worlds away from his silver spoon existence, and it fascinated him. But the racism simmered under the surface. One evening, after a rough day at the office where a deal fell through because of diversity quotas his dad complained about, Alex lashed out. You people always want handouts, he muttered when Elena asked for a day off to visit her family. Her face hardened. You people? Wow, Alex, I thought you were better than that tired crap. I've earned every dime here. Dealing with your attitude. She stormed out, leaving him alone with Tommy, who asked why Auntie Elena was mad. Guilt gnawed at Alex that night. He paced, realizing how empty the place felt without her energy. The next day, he tracked her down at a local cafe where she grabbed lunch. Elena, wait. I was a jerk. That stuff. It's what I grew up hearing, but it's bullshit. I'm sorry. She crossed her arms, not buying it fully. Apologies are cheap, Alex. Prove it. He nodded, determined. Over the following days, he made small changes, donating to immigrant support groups, even calling out his dad's casual racism during a family dinner. Tommy noticed, too, thriving under Elena's care. One rainy afternoon, as she read Tommy a story about overcoming differences, Alex joined them on the couch. Their hands brushed, and a spark hit him like lightning. You're amazing with him, he said softly. Elena met his gaze. And you're not as bad as you pretend. Rich boy. The air thickened, tension building like a storm. But just as things warmed up, trouble brewed. Alex's ex, Tiffany, showed up unannounced, sniffing around for custody leverage. Who's this? She sneered at Elena, her tone dripping with disdain. The help playing mommy. How quaint and ethnic. Alex's blood boiled. Back off, Tiff. Elena's family now. The word slipped out, surprising even him. Tiffany laughed. Family? Please. Your dad would flip if you slummed it with the maid. Elena overheard, her eyes welling up. Is that how you see me, Alex? Just the maid? She grabbed her coat, heading for the door. Alex chased after her into the rain-soaked street. No, Elena, wait! That's not... But she was gone, leaving him drenched and regretting every biased word he'd ever uttered. Alex stood in the pouring rain outside Elena's cramped Bronx apartment building. Soaked to the bone, his designer coat ruined. He'd tracked her down using the emergency contact info from her file, something he never thought he'd do. The buzzer finally clicked after what felt like forever, and he bolted up the stairs, heart hammering. Elena opened the door just a crack, her eyes red from crying, arms crossed tight. What the hell are you doing here, Alex? Come to fire me in person. He shook his head, water dripping everywhere. No, God, no. Elena, please, let me in. I need to talk. She hesitated, then sighed and stepped aside. Her place was tiny but warm, family photos on the walls, the smell of fresh tamales lingering from dinner, worlds away from his sterile penthouse. He paced her living room, words tumbling out. Tiffany's poison always has been. What she said? That's not me. Not anymore. You've changed everything. Tommy, me, all of it. Elena leaned against the kitchen counter. not softening yet. Changed? Alex, you've been fighting me every step. The comments, the side eyes when I speak Spanish. Snapping about my people. How do I know this isn't just some rich guy guilt trip? He stopped, meeting her gaze dead on. Because I'm here, aren't I? In the rain, looking like an idiot. I called my dad out tonight, told him his racist bullshit stops influencing me. Told Tiffany to get lost for good. And yeah, I screwed up big time, but I'm trying to unlearn it. For Tommy. For us. The last word hung there, vulnerable as hell. Elena softened a fraction, pouring him a mug of hot chocolate like her mom always did for guests. You hurt me. Alex. Bad. It's not just words. It's feeling like an outsider in a place I poured my heart into. He took the mug, hands shaking. I know. And I'll spend every day making it right if you let me. Come back, please. She bit her lip, thinking. Not as the maid, as equals? He nodded fast. Hell yes. Partner, whatever you want. Tommy's asking for you nonstop. After a long pause, she smiled faintly. Fine, but one more strike, rich boy. And I'm out. Relief flooded him. And without thinking, he pulled her into a hug. She tensed, then melted in, the spark from before igniting full force. Their lips met in a hungry kiss, rain forgotten, biases crumbling in that moment. Back at the penthouse the next morning, things shifted gears. Elena moved in, officially as Tommy's caregiver, but everyone knew it was more. Alex promoted her in the household. Gave her a real salary bump, no more maid duties. Tommy was over the moon, calling her Mommy Elena within days. His nightmares fading as their little family gelled. But Alex's growth wasn't instant. Old habits died hard. At a big Harrington tech board meeting, his dad pulled him aside. Heard you're shacking up with the help. That Mexican girl? Son, think about the optics. Our investors, Alex cut him off cold. Her name's Elena, Dad, and if optics means ditching racism, then screw your investors. I'm done with that crap. The old man blustered, but Alex stood firm, even threatening to step back from the company if the toxicity continued. Life got sweeter fast. Weekends turned into adventures, picnics in Central Park where Elena taught Alex to make authentic tacos. Him burning the first batch hilariously while Tommy laughed his head off. Date nights snuck in, rooftop dinners overlooking the city. Alex opening up about his privileged bubble. Elena sharing stories of her family's struggles immigrating, working odd jobs to survive. The chemistry was fire, stolen kisses in the kitchen. Passionate nights once Tommy was asleep, but racism reared its ugly head outside their bubble. At a high society charity event, some snobby socialite cornered Elena in the bathroom. So you're the new flavor of the month? Gold digger much? Elena fired back, Honey, I'm the one keeping his kids sane and his life together. What's your excuse for being bitter? Word got back to Alex, who publicly shut it down, donating extra to Latino community causes in her honor. Tommy's progress was the real win. School reports glowed, thriving socially. No more outbursts. Elena's influence, teaching him empathy. Bilingual songs, stories about diverse heroes, reshaped him. One evening, as Alex tucked Tommy in, the kid whispered, Daddy. Why do some people not like Elena's brown skin? It's pretty. Alex's throat tightened. Some folks are scared of different, buddy. But that's their problem. We love her just as she is. Tommy grinned. Yeah, she's the best. Downstairs, Elena overheard, tears in her eyes. Alex pulled her close. You're changing us both. I love you, Elena, for real. She whispered back. I love you too, you stubborn jerk. Even when you mess up. But drama wasn't done. Tiffany launched a nasty custody battle. Hiring sleazy lawyers to paint Alex as unstable and dig into Elena's background, immigration status questions, old minor stuff from her teen years. Tabloids ate it up. Harrington heirs Latina lover scandal. Alex lawyered up hard, shielding Elena from the worst. This is my fight, he told her during a tense night. They want to play dirty? I'll bury him. He went public in an interview, owning his past biases. I was raised with blind spots, but meeting Elena opened my eyes. She's the strongest person I know. And yeah, we're building a life together. The backlash flipped. Support poured in from diverse communities. Calls for more inclusivity at Harrington Tech. As the case dragged, tension peaked. One stormy night, Elena broke down. What if they win? Take Tommy? Paint me as some criminal because of where I was born? Alex held her tight. Over my dead body, your family. And tomorrow I'm proposing, for real, ring and all. She pulled back, shocked. Alex, he grinned through the stress. Been planning it. You, me, Tommy, official. If you'll have this reformed asshole, tears turned happy as she nodded. Yes, 1,000 times yes. The custody hearing loomed, Tiffany smirking in court with her fabricated dirt. But Alex's team countered hard. Character witnesses, Tommy's therapist testifying how Elena stabilized him. Then the bombshell. Alex's dad showed up, grumbling but testifying in support. My son's grown up. This woman's good for him, for the boy. Tiffany's case crumbled. Judge ruled in Alex's favor, full custody, with a warning shot at her games. That night, under the stars on their private terrace, Alex dropped to one knee. Tommy held the ring box, beaming. Elena Ramirez, you scared away my demons, taught me what real love looks like and made us whole. Marry me? She cried, slipping on the ring, a stunning diamond with Latino-inspired engravings. Yes, God, yes. They kissed as Tommy cheered, fireworks from a nearby event lighting the sky like it was meant to be. Months later, the wedding was epic, blending cultures, mariachi band meets string quartet, tacos alongside filet mignon. Alex's dad even danced with Elena's mom. Harrington Tech announced diversity initiatives, Alex leading the charge as new CEO in training. Tommy walked Elena down the aisle partway, calling her mom for the first time publicly. Years on, they spoiled her rotten. Trips to Mexico to meet extended family, a foundation in her name for immigrant kids. Alex never slipped back. He called out racism wherever it popped, raising Tommy to do the same. Their love story, the kind that proved biases could break, hearts could heal, and a maid could become the queen who saved them all.